mind logically, you're defending yourself by coming up with excuses. Instead of that, okay, come on, focus on the var. Because he said people will die and reborn again. So you should not cry for such things. So how we can this apply to us? The exact meaning of that particular sloka is, who are intelligent people, okay, who are gnanis, they will not cry for this deaths, because once a person die, again he will reborn. So why are you worried about, like, you know, that your cousins are going to die or you are going to kill them? This is the exact meaning. What exactly Krishna want to convey us is, how many years each one of us have? At least 30 plus, 25 plus, right? In all these years, is this the first time we are into a conflict or challenging situation? Did we ever come across any pathetic or challenging situation?
Many a
You
times.
all came, we crossed it. At that point of time also, we felt like, you know, I may fail in it, I cannot achieve it. But what happened after that? In the same way, it is not new to have challenges in the life. It is quite common right from the birth we have taken. We are facing the challenges, we are winning, we are fighting with them, we are moving on in the life. In the same way, if today in your life some challenge comes, some conflict comes, kindly don't stop. It is just a passing cloud. It will just go away like this, as many things went away in our life. It is just a cycle. So kindly don't give excuses to quit your duty, to give an kindly mute yourself. So kindly don't give excuses using your intelligence and escape from your duties or your goals. So it is just a challenges are like passing clouds, they will just get away. This is what the Krishna want to convey to the world. Done. Then we will go to the second chapter, 12th sloka. Why I'm saying is, like, you know, when you have written all your duties in your mind, you may feel like I am unable to perform that duty. And for like, you know, unable to perform that duty, you have a number of excuses. So kindly write against your excuse that don't give using your intelligence the excuses. Kindly go ahead in performing your duties.
Ma'am,
Done.
another thing that I want to, add to this,
Yeah, please.
anytime you have set aside your emotions and done your duties, not just duties as duties, but you have to do that with a lot of passion and dedication, right? I have seen those kind of people are largely successful uh, in lives, right? Be it professional or personal goals. Uh, I mean, this is definitely my personal experience. What I have noticed is people who set aside their emotions and having, give no excuses, irrespective of who is in front of you. Those kind of people are largely successful, is what I have noticed. And that is also my personal experience, right? So
Nice.
I am always in this crux because my head tells this is right, uh, but my heart is saying you're hurting that person, he or she is feeling bad, this is not what it takes, all of these excuses my heart is saying. I am always in that difficulty zone. My head is bang on, but the monkey called heart in me is always putting me into that kind of difficult situation. So how do I deal with this?
Okay.
This is my
So,
personal.
yeah, that is your question, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, done. So, in fact, to speak, there is no heart, there is no mind separately. Everything what works is our mind itself. Okay, but in our subconscious mind, as we discussed conscious and subconscious mind, your conscious mind always talks about the logical stuff, like, you know, you're supposed to do this way, this is what is the materialistic thing, and it works, it doesn't work, like that. Your subconscious mind, right from the childhood, it has many filters, and it has filtered the emotions. So whenever you go with the logical stuff, your subconscious mind, like, you know, ping you from inside, like, you know, how can you do this? So internally you have two conflict thoughts. They are your thoughts only. You have two conflict thoughts. When the friction arises between the two conflict thoughts, then this problem arises. That's why whenever we are clear with what I am supposed to do, the same what Arjuna underwent here. When he is not clear about, like, you know, I have to participate in the war as a Kshatriya, it's my dharma. He forgot that for a moment because of attachment. What instantly happened? His subconscious mind dominated his conscious mind, and he started traveling in a different window, thinking, like, you know, how can I kill my people? Why all this is happening? His emotions conquered his duty. That's why Krishna in the second chapter, making him aware, what is your duty, Arjuna?
So you are saying emotions lie in subconscious mind?
Exactly.
Okay.
Those are your beliefs. Those are your beliefs. As a mother, I can't see my child crying because you might have heard stories, you might have seen people around you, you might have watched in the movies. Slowly that belief system has formed. Mother cannot see the child crying, and it is in the blood as well. So what happens whenever a child cries for something? Instantly the mother melts and give up on her duty and instantly come to a different track. Don't this happen?
Yeah. I think she resumes the responsibility of pacifying the kid.
Exactly. So here
So
we are
we
getting
deviate from our
deviated from
duty
the
zone.
duty, because never in our life we will really seriously sit and work out on duties and think about them in day-to-day practice. Any such task you take as a day-to-day practice, this is my duty, I'll do it, then you will not enter into such conflict, and you will not go into that state of, what to say, the hell state, which Krishna calls actually, because it is a miserable state where we worry, because we are in two thoughts. When we live in two thoughts, we cannot perform any one of them and we will not get any output. So we need to stick to one.
Got it.
Perfect. Now second chapter, 12th sloka. न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपा न चैव न भविष्यामा सर्वे वयमतः परम्. So here what again Krishna is saying, both slokas are similar. That's why in most of the slokas we choose only few slokas, because almost few slokas will give similar meaning. Here also Krishna is saying the kings who are existing now were existing earlier also and will again reborn in the future also. So don't kindly mind that you are killing them. Arjuna is stepping back because he's feeling like, you know, I don't want to kill them. If I kill them, I'm giving pain to them, right? So Krishna is making him aware. Do you think this is the first kind of birth for them? It's not first birth. Earlier also they have born. Again also they will born. So now what we need to understand from this, what should we take up from this, is same the problems, same the challenges, the tears, emotions, what we are getting at this moment are not the first time we are experiencing. Earlier also we experienced, we came out of it. Future also we will experience them. So no use that to think at this point of time how to escape from them. So escaping is not the solution. Excuse is not the solution, because no assurance that today what we are facing has not come up in the past and will not appear again in the future. So what you all need to learn is, what we all are supposed to learn is how to face them and how to perform our best in that particular situations. Done? Now, second chapter, 31st sloka.